Hello and welcome everybody. So welcome to our very first live in conversation, and I'm really excited to have Magali on with us today. Magali's going to be chatting with me today about her own personal experimenting with what it truly means to have completely changed your life by focusing on what you enjoy, and whether it's within the relationship or within business. And I know, Magali, that you coach women who want to create their dream job, where they really and truly fulfill themselves. And you really, ultimately, you are a woman who guides other women to reach their full potential, whether that's in their business, in their life in general. And you believe in love, in creativity, and of course in the power of conscious life. And you've lived this, you've learned it, you've experienced it, and now you coach other women on the same. So the title for today's live in conversation is How Doing What You Truly Desire Offers You a Wonderful Life. So Magali, welcome. Now, I did mention in the run up to this that this is your very first chat in English, so we will go at your pace. It will be awesome. It's so wonderful to have you here, Magali. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, honey?
Yeah, thank you very much. So hello everyone, I'm super happy to be there. It's such a great opportunity. And yeah, as you said, I'm from Switzerland. I'm from the French part of Switzerland, so I speak French, and it's my very first time in English, so I'm super happy. And yeah, I think you told basically everything in your intro, but yeah, I think that I personally experimented that when I did what I truly wanted to, my life has completely changed, and I would be so happy to share with you or with everyone who is listening what I did and what I've been through, because I've noticed that when I talk about my experience, a lot of people or women say, "Ah, I know what you feel," and yeah, I think it can be interesting for everyone.
Absolutely. I'm certain that ladies listening to this now live on Facebook and also in the recording that we'll make sure gets out to you and to everybody else, that that stories like I know you're about to share really connect people together. So why don't you tell us, how did it start? Like, what was going on for you that you recognized something had to change?
Yeah. So yeah, you tell me if you have questions, but I think it started when I had a life that everyone wanted. Like, I had a relationship, I had a great job, I had a good salary, but inside of me, I was feeling like I could do or have so much more or different. And I felt like a part of me was maybe hidden somewhere, and the true me wanted to grow or to do things, but I I felt like I didn't know what or how I could change. And yeah, I felt like I had a potential, but I didn't know how to use it, and I didn't have the confidence to change my life. So that's where it started, when I felt like I have everything. I have a job, I have money, I have a boyfriend, but I wasn't unhappy, but I was not happy. So that's where it started.
And definitely something I'm sure the listeners will relate to, or the watchers will relate to. So what happened next? Like, or maybe how did that realization come over time, like slowly, or was there a bit of a like lightning bolt moment?
No, it was really slowly. I know that there are some people like one day they wake up and they do like I can't, but no, for me it was really slowly.
Yeah.
And yeah, it all started when I started to work on myself, on my personal development. I started meditation, and at first it was like I was meditating, but I was not convinced. But then I practiced, and maybe after 1 or 2 years, it started with my relationship. I felt like I had to stop it, and that's where it started.
Wow, okay, yeah. So a slow but sure
Yeah,
kind of drip feed through, and you'd started, obviously recognized that something needed to change if you'd
yeah,
found some personal development,
yeah.
but it sort of slowly crept up. And so
Mm,
what happened next? So started with your boyfriend and a recognition that that wasn't right.
yeah,
What happened next?
yeah. So yeah, I was feeling like, I had a great relationship because everyone told me you're so lucky, you have a nice boyfriend, who is there, who is nice, who is respectful. But I was like, is my relationship gonna be like this for all my life? I was not happy. And so then there was no specific reason, but I was I've learned to be good with myself. I've learned to be alone even in a relationship, and I've learned to be safe just with myself. And we had a little fight, and then I was thinking, no, I can't. So I stopped this relationship, and yeah, that's how it was. And it was great, really. For me, there was no drama or something, but it was really the beginning of my new life when I stopped this relationship.
Amazing. So so was that a moment where you stepped into kind of recognizing that regardless of what everybody else was saying, it just wasn't right for you, and that the only person who could change that for yourself was you?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's exactly that. Like, I felt like, no, I can't leave him because everyone will tell me why, because you're the perfect couple, and why he wasn't mean to you. But yeah, I was like, no, I don't have to listen to everyone else, just listen to me. And then it was okay like this.
And how did that show itself up as being the right decision? Like, so after the fact and the relationship has ended, how did that kind of reconcile inside of you as absolutely you'd done the right thing?
Yeah. So yeah, I think like meditation helped me a lot because um, I've learned to hear myself, and also I learned to make some visualization. When you visualize what you want. So I started to visualize and to write what I expected from a healthy relationship, and I put words on it, and then I wrote it down, and I saw that what I expected and what I had, it was really the opposite. So I
Mm.
think that helped me a lot.
Wow, gosh, yeah. So real recognition that it might be great, and he might be a lovely man,
Yeah,
but not the right man for you.
yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. So so where do we go from here in your story? Like, how does connect the dots between how that first realization that everything he had was great, but it wasn't suiting you, to where you are today to coaching women? Fill in those gaps, and I'll jump in with some questions.
So it's a quick summary, but there are long years between all that. But
Yeah.
when I left my boyfriend, I had done this exercise when I wrote what I expected, what I wanted, and in my head I thought like maybe I will manifest that in maybe 5 or 10 years, and I was okay with that because I wanted to be alone. I really wanted to be all by myself. But like a few weeks after I was alone, I met someone, and and since then we never stopped seeing each other, and now we live together, and yeah, we are still together. It's been 2 years, and yeah, I think he's really my soulmate.
Oh,
And so that was the next step, meeting my actual boyfriend.
yes. And tell me how, I have to ask, did he tick all of the boxes on the good list?
Yeah, yeah, I don't like to say that I have a list because it wasn't written like it has to be this way, but just, yeah, what I expected, like someone who really listen to me, communicates. Yeah, he has really everything. Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Well, that's that, and isn't that funny how, and such an exact of what often happens is, like you said, you were ready to let go of being with anybody for as many years as it took for you to be really comfortable being in yourself, and when you let that go and Mr. Right walks in, walks into your life. But also the fact that you were open to that as well, because you know, another person might be so, this is the way it's going to be, and I'm going to be single and I'm going to be by
Yeah.
myself for this period of time, whereas you had that fluidity and
Yeah.
flexibility to be open to what the universe was going to bring to you in the gift of this man.
Yeah, it's exactly, yeah, because yeah, I've noticed that you can choose what you want, but then the universe decides the when.
Yes. Yeah.
I had made the promise to myself that all my choices would be with love and not with fear. So that really helps me a lot to make my choices, even now.
Yes, I love that. So all of your choices with love and not with fear. So decisions based on what feels great and good, not
Yeah.
oh my goodness, I'm gonna do this. And so Mr. Right walks into your life. What else? Else then has happened? Because I know there's more to this than your relationship, and that's a massive part, of course. But tell us how else things transpired for you.
Yeah. So yeah, I was in this relationship, and with my boyfriend, we started really to think about our future, to think about our professional life. And I was working in a big company in public health in Geneva, in Switzerland, and I had a new job, and everyone was so happy for me, like, oh, you're so lucky to have this job. You're gonna be great until you're 60 in this place. And yeah, everyone was so happy for me, like it's amazing to have that job at your age. But again, inside of me, I was like, oh my god, I don't belong there. It's like my place is somewhere else. And I felt so bored, so tired, and I was like, I can't go like this during the next 40 days. So yeah, what helped me a lot is that my boyfriend went through the same thing. So we both talked together, and we decided to plan that, like, we were talking and like to plan that 1 year after we would leave Switzerland, leave our jobs, and go to travel somewhere.
Amazing. And how did that go? Did that happen? Is that what transpired?
Yeah, yeah. We were together like for 2 months, and we decided, like in June 2018, we decided that in September 2019 we would go for 6 months in South Africa.
Yeah.
So it happened. All we didn't know what we would do, how we would, but we know that it would be okay, and it was it was perfect. So we've been for 6 months in South Africa.
Amazing, amazing. So ultimately, really not back very long at all, as all of this craziness in the world happened.
Yeah, yeah. It was. We were really lucky to do that trip before the
Yeah,
crisis.
amazing, amazing. So tell me about how this now moves into your 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 new life, into coaching other women to really follow their instinct, to trust their heart, to make decisions with love.
So can you maybe repeat your question? How can
Yes, so how do these experience then, how does your story, I guess, complete itself now with you moving in the direction that you are?
Okay, okay. Yeah, so before I left to South Africa, I already started a blog where I was talking about acceptance, self-love, the importance of knowing yourself. And from South Africa, I had time, I had energy. So I, promoted my blog. I was talking more and more about it. And step by step, I got coached myself, and I developed my coaching activity for women. At the beginning was for women who wanted to be more confident in their lives. And yeah, that's how I started in South Africa. And then when I got back in Switzerland, I officially created my own business.
Amazing. So how long have you been going now?
It's been like 6 months only.
Yes.
And yeah, it's doing great. And what is interesting is that it's changing so much. I'm really not the same than at the beginning. And I think that creating your own business is really like a personal development tool. Like you need to love yourself to be able to create your business and to create your money, I think.
I totally agree. I think ultimately to always be a student and be a
Yeah.
learner, even from our clients, I think it's, I know that every week someone will ask me a question, or someone will have something going on where I need to dig deeper, I need to be
Yeah.
better, or I need to show up more appropriately. And I
Mhm.
can totally understand where you're coming from with that. So tell me how the last 6 months, how you've been in that, considering COVID, of course, and the effect that that's had on our whole world. But how do you feel that your own personal development has kept you good in these last 6 months?
You mean according to the situation in the world?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think really like I feel so lucky because I think I didn't have any problem with this situation. For example, we came back from South Africa and then we were supposed to go for 6 months in London
Ah,
because we wanted to continue the experience. So we went to London, but it was at the really beginning of the situation. And so we preferred to go back to be in Switzerland with the quarantine.
mhm.
And yeah, so really, I think that having a business during this period and working on myself, it helps a lot because you learn to accept what you can't control. You have no choice, so you have to accept and you have to focus on gratitude, what you have. And yeah, I feel so grateful to have all these tools and this awareness to be happy no matter what happens in the world.
Yes, amazing. And that's it, isn't it? Because yeah, ultimately, the choice is you accept it or you don't accept it. One's really quite painful and the other one is liberating.
Yeah.
And so what if you could give one single piece of advice to the listeners and the watchers, what would that be? Or I mean, it doesn't have to just be one, you can expand on it, but what would that be?
You mean so like one advice to more accept what happens, for example?
To move well, yes. Let's start with that one and I'll ask you another one.
Okay. Okay, so but I don't know. No, I think what helps a lot is to really focus on what is in your control and what is not. And I think the only thing you can control is your feelings, your emotions, even if it doesn't mean that you can't be sad or angry, just to accept, okay, I'm angry, I'm sad, and it's okay if I need time to cry or to do whatever. And then I choose what I want to do to get better. I don't know if
Yeah.
it
No,
answers.
yeah, absolutely, it does answer. Absolutely, Magali. And how about, that moment, whether somebody's had a lightning bolt moment, or like you, there's been that kind of nagging in their head that things
Mhm.
aren't right. Maybe they're feeling a bit out of sorts because it seems to the outside world that everything's perfect and you should be grateful. what would you say to a lady in that position who just feels really misaligned with her life and is maybe a bit scared to take the leap that you did to go, okay, enough is enough, I need to make changes? What
Yeah.
advice would you give to her?
Maybe a first very practical advice is to write down your feelings, because I think it's something that we should all do, maybe to learn it at school, but we never learn how to write about how I feel. And because if you're writing, you can't lie to yourself. Because, for example, in your head, you can tell like, yeah, I'm happy in this life, it's okay. In your head, it's very easy. But if you had to write what you feel, like, I'm not happy, or I try to convince me that I'm happy, then you can't lie to yourself. So then to just admit that you're not happy, that you need something more, it's, I think, the first step to get awareness that there's something wrong. It's the first step.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the power of writing as well, being that kind of, it's like the pen. I describe it, the pen is the link into the unconscious, just like, and you're so right, you can't, there's no lying to yourself, is there? Whereas in your head you've got this voice and that voice and this one over here, and they're all arguing about what might happen, what isn't going to happen, what should happen. And so how do you work with your ladies then, Magali? How is it that ladies who connect with you, who resonate with you, how do you work with them?
Yeah. So first, maybe what I want to say, maybe for women who are starting a business, is that at the beginning, I was not very confident, and maybe I wanted to work with everyone. Like, I just wanted clients, but then I really, I felt like I wouldn't have clients if I was thinking that way. So yeah, I've learned to really to have a clear definition about what kind of women I want to work with. And yeah, so when we connect, like I want to meet them, because I need to be sure that I'm the right person for them, because I'm not a magician, but when we meet, then I do long-term coaching, because as you, I think, it's not in 1 hour that you can have a big change. So it's like long-term coaching, and then we really talk, of course, about the strategic part, like organization, maybe communication, but then the most important part is really the mindset, the personal development, the limiting beliefs too. And I try to give them tools so that they can change themselves. Like, I can't do the changes for them.
Yeah, nice. So tell us about who your ideal client is. Like, if she's listening today, who is she and what do you help her to achieve?
Yeah. So yeah, my ideal client is a woman who feels that she can do so much more than she actually does in her personal and professional life. And her dream is to live in a beautiful world. She likes to dream, and she believes in love, in the power of love, but she's so scared to change because she thinks that she can't. She thinks that maybe she needs another diploma, or that she's not enough. And what I want to tell her is that she's enough. She has everything inside, but she just have to find it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And so I will obviously put your links and your socials up underneath. I will put them into the comments of this in our Facebook group, and I know that you'll have eyes on that, so if anybody comments on it, you're welcome to comment back into that.
Okay.
And I mean, it's been so lovely talking to you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask the ladies who are on this call with us. Ladies, if you have any questions for Magali, go ahead and drop them into the chat here. And for those of you listening live on Facebook, I'm just going to open this up over here. Let's have a look. So we've got a couple of people also watching, at least 2 or 3 here. We've got some comments. Oh, a couple of ladies a couple of clients of mine were trying to get into the Zoom call. They've struggled, but that's okay. Hopefully they can now see this on here. So yeah, ladies, if you've got any questions for Magali, drop them into the chat, or if you're listening, and I know there's a little bit of a delay. So if you're watching live, then any questions for Magali in there around how maybe questions around what's the next steps for you if you're somebody who's looking to start a business. Know that there's more that you can give. Then write a question in there about what's first steps for you, or give us an example of what's going on for you now that Magali might be able to answer for you. So I'll leave that question hanging, because I know Facebook's a little bit hanging behind us. And I know the ladies here are well on their way in different bits and pieces there. So Magali, whilst we're waiting for questions, what do you do for fun? So outside all this traveling that obviously I guess you're waiting to do another 6 months when things calm down and you're able to, but what do you do in your spare time for fun?
So in my spare time, I think now it's different since I'm an entrepreneur, because I feel like I'm always having fun, and I will always want to learn, to read, but I try also to do something that has nothing to do with business. But what I love is with my boyfriend, we are kizomba dancers. I don't know if you know the dance. It's a dance from Angola. And yeah, we are both passionate. So yeah, but now with the COVID, it's a bit complicated. But yeah, that's what I love to do.
Gosh, really, real free spirit dancing, I'm going to take a guess at.
Yeah.
Nice. Right, let me take a look, see if we've got any here. So we haven't got any yet, but as I said, you're in here too, aren't you? So you will see if any other questions come through, which will be fantastic. And as I said, I'll pop your social links into here. We'll get this out to you recorded as well. And keep in touch. It's been absolutely wonderful talking to you. Have you got any questions or anything you want to ask before you go?
No, I think for me it's okay just to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Really, I'm so happy, and yeah, I hope we can keep in touch.
Absolutely, and be here, Belinda said, very inspiring, thank you. So there you go, Magali, fantastic. I mean, considering, like you said, this is your first interview in English, amazing. I mean, I love France, so French speaking would be wonderful for me. We would not be able to do this the other way around.
Maybe one day.
maybe one day. The ladies on the call know that I have a desire to live in France, so somewhere or another I'm going to want to be learning. So we've got love your passion, many thanks, and thanks a lot. So Magali, absolutely wonderful to have you on. Fabulous for you to be the first guest on this live in conversation, and we will keep in touch. I look forward to watching your journey grow.
Sure. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye bye now.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.